Joining me now for a look at the day's markets activity is Brendan Capstick from Nedbank Private Wealth. Brendan, thanks so much for your time this afternoon. So a relief rally coming through across the board here. We also heard, comments from Fed officials around interest rate cuts. There's also been a general optimism off the back of some comments from the President of the United States, President Trump, around trade negotiations, or around what's playing out in China. And that, of course, fueling the positive momentum we are seeing, right?
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Yes, correct. I mean, risk sentiment is returning to the markets the last week. We've seen the US market up, the Nasdaq and S&P up around 5%. So we're also seeing the gold price trading lower around 1.5% this morning. We all saw this morning's announcement that China is willing to provide relief on the tariffs and roll back some of these tariffs on US imports on specific critical goods. So that's positive. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what the market's telling us, that the risk sentiment is returning with these uncertainties within tariffs possibly improving. The only thing that needs to be taken to note is that you need to be cautious in this regard.
Yeah.
Nothing is really fundamentally been provided, and the details are quite light at this point.
Let's take a look at what's been playing out on the company earnings side. Alphabet delivering market-beating numbers overnight. The cloud unit really doing well with revenue there jumping 28%. Are we going to start seeing more focus on that unit with the acquisition of Wiz, of course, and as we start seeing pressure on that ad revenue from the search front, considering those antitrust issues at play as well?
Yeah, correct. In the post market yesterday, the share was up nearly 4%. I think the market was quite positive on the news of the earnings actually beating. The integration and AI spend is actually delivering. Interestingly, they've got 2.8 billion users monthly on the YouTube product. Yes, there has been some softness on estimates going forward regarding antitrust and, of course, uncertainty regarding tariffs as well, and possible, where we stand with recession going forward and how that would affect ad spend for their consumers and clients. So on that front, I think still a good set of results for Alphabet. Mm-hmm. Really dynamic business. We've got assets such as Waymo and some other products that are really exciting. Shares down nearly 17% year to date still. One of the cheaper ones in the Magnificent Seven, and probably worth a look at these levels.
Brendan, from one tech counter that's doing well to one that's not doing so well, Intel also out with results overnight. Their outlook really disappointing markets, but they are in a turnaround phase, and they also have that JV with TSMC in the works. Is this one on your radar at the moment?
Yeah, I think I do follow it. I think the thing is it's the balance between the hardware and the software element of that business. Market was really not happy, went the other way. I think it was down 6%. But they've had change of management in the last couple of years, and they're trying to find their footing really to stabilize their AI strategy. And I think that's where within the big tech space, you've got to have an AI partner and a correct AI strategy that's not really playing out. So it's not one we look at closely at these levels.
All right, let's move over to some local news. The rand under pressure today, nearing that 19 rand mark to the dollar. I think the last time we looked at it was at 18.19 to the greenback. I would like to think that the VAT hike U-turn would benefit the local currency. Are we seeing maybe uncertainty around the GNU following that being scrapped and the way it was done, and that it was done last minute, or is it the global dynamics at play, perhaps a stronger dollar at the moment?
Yeah, good point. I think on the stronger dollar element of this relief with tariffs, possibly with China, see the dollar trading firmer towards 100 this morning or this afternoon. But I think to your point, I think the uncertainty within the GNU and the policy uncertainty is weighing on the currency as well. We've seen our bond market actually firmer, our yields actually moving lower the last couple of days. With the tariff, or let's call it the VAT pause, or remaining at 15%. I think it's good for consumers, but I think it still leaves a 75 billion rand gap in the budget. And as you mentioned, do we find in budget 2.0, where is that revenue going to come from? So I think that's where the market's really uncertain. and also the policy uncertainty within the GNU. So a lot, I think, needs to still play out in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And in company news, Implats posting a decline in output for its third quarter, but it is sticking to its guns, maintaining its full year guidance. Just your thoughts on that update?
Yeah, it's not one we follow closely. I think we prefer our PGM exposure via Anglo. But I think I looked at it. It does seem quite weak. We did see this within Anglo as well this week with the production update. With Amplats also down around 30% year over year and around 50% over the last quarter. So it is a theme in the PGM space. I think the PGM miners are struggling to determine pricing. I mean, that is PGM, the platinum sector and the palladium sector really not bouncing at these levels. So I think, a tough road ahead for Implats at this point.
All right, before I let you go, where are you seeing opportunity at the moment? What is your stock pick?
Yeah, we like 91 and Y1, locally listed. It's a global asset manager. It's a large asset manager, and I think we're looking for something that's paying us attractive dividend. It's paying us a dividend around 8% and a forward P around 10%. So decent margin of safety in these volatile markets. Surprisingly, as you've just mentioned, our local market's up 7% year to date, where the S&P is down probably 7% on the other side, but European markets have been strong. So markets have been resilient. They're also working on a transaction with Sanlam. So yeah, we like 91 at these levels. I think you're getting a decent dividend and a decent valuation.
All right, Brendan, thanks so much for your time and taking us through trade at midday. That was Brendan Capstick from Nedbank Private Wealth.